Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Bedbug Brian. Sadly, I am missing about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of gameplay after episode 3. So, this is the new episode 4. Um, I basically have continued to build this very ugly fort. I'm going to work on it. Like I said in probably episode 4, it kind of looks like an orc face with the teeth here, the nose, the eyes. Um, but we have basically gotten up to the point with 3 settlers. I got, a lot of smelting going on. We're mining ore here, and we made it through winter and spring. Usually by the time I get into ore and iron and everything, it's like a year or two in it. So this is actually a pretty good time. But we're just going to get into it, act like nothing ever happened here. But I am going to work a little on the building just to kind of make it look a little symmetrical. We might, we'll figure it out. I could turn these into workshops very easily, but like I said in the past, these corners right here are for defensive purposes only. It's basically so that, you're up here, an archer is just going after the enemy, and then it takes one too many shots. The Merlons do a good job, but not every shot is blocked. So if everyone's scattered eventually towards the end of or middle of the battle, your archer can fall back and just take 100% cover from this direction by standing right here, and then maybe shoot somebody that's trying to get an angle or whatever the case may be. But I could just very well put in some doors here, doors there, and you could just, maybe something like that. Close it up, and then we can have a tailoring shop here. We already have the workings of, bowyer and the workbench for wood. So we might do that. And then I'll just work on a little bit of the looks. We can put in some limestone Merlons and then kind of get the building surrounded by them and just make it look like a finished building somewhat. It's still just a fort, though. It's not a house, not a castle. This building was made in mind for like not having a wall and stuff, so you can protect yourself on all sides. I cleared out all the trees that are inside the range of an archer. I planted these trees, but the archer, its range is just within the trees. So anybody that steps on that line, like that deer, boom, I could hit that deer right there. I know it because that's why I set up the tree line. Get it? Out of range right here. In range. In range, almost probably right here. Poor baby deer. 4 days old, didn't even know any better, didn't know about my line of sight setup. So, but anywho, no, really though, I am very pleased that this is a good head start right here, and I have a buttload of iron. I have 380 because I'm trying to train Charvel, his smithing. He's now an 8. We started out as a 4, so in like 8 days we went from a 4 to 8, so that's not terrible. But we really need smithing skill. It's critical for the mid to late game. Be able to have like plate mail and stuff like that. Okay, let's get a beam, and then there. I think I told Gun I need you. I need trees. Lone traveler. And I think we will just expand that way. And then on the the inside, I'll take the inner wall out. We'll have slightly larger room on the inside, supporting, hopefully, as long as it's supported. No stability issues, excuse me. We got Hingist on research. Let's check the research. Ooh, research 2. No room for that. No time for that. The goal was defensive structures, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do. I have all this iron. I put every last door as an iron door. That's probably the wisest move. I mean, I'm very tempted to do blacksmithing. Of course, that would help out with smithing. He could start creating weapons, but we might do that on the next move. Very torn about not getting fermenting, but like I said, I'm trying to stay focused here and stick to my guns. Sometimes it's hard to go for the things you absolutely lead. Architecture, agriculture, smelting, those things don't provide a lot of like, hey, I got bees, I got all this different furniture, I got these special rooms that give me a buff, but they're the fundamentals, and they're important. That's why they're the fundamentals. I have the ability to make weapons. I'm working on smithing. I have the ability. I'm in the Iron Age because of smelting. I got agriculture. Now, the question is what? There's no question. Defensive structures all day long, but I really want tailoring, and I desperately need fermentation just to. It would really help out the quality of life if my guys weren't deprived of any drink, Ooh. Let's see. This guy, Speechcraft of 1, Speechcraft of 8. Let's see what's up. Okay. Let's do it like this. We got a dog, female dog. Make some dogs, you know what I'm saying? For 153 though. I think I have 2 male dogs. Or no. That's actually a good question. Oh, we got flimsy spears, so we could make 22 and change. 2260, 2272 on 2 spears that I made, so that's actually, we're going to do that. And that way we can buy stuff over here. What? I don't know. Well, we're growing on flax seeds, but we're waiting still, so we'll go ahead and load up on all seeds. Get that party going. Beet seeds, I can't really plant them yet, but we'll get them. Barley, not going to buy barley. Herbs, junket. What is junket? Is that the tallow? What is junket? That's weird. There's so many weird words. These guys are from, the developers are somewhere from like Serbia or something like that, and like, I don't know if that's what it is or if they're using a medieval language, but some things just like, what on earth is junket? I've lived a full life, I've never heard that word before. I'm generally pretty good. So there's tallow, so it's not junket. Strange. Okay, so I have a male dog that I named Sadie because that's my dog that in real life who's passed after 15 years. Best dog in the world. Then I got this other free dog, Ruffington the dog. His name's Ruffington the Third, but we didn't have room in the name, so unfortunately. So I could get a female dog. We could have a little kennel. I mean, it's $130 though. I don't think we're doing it. Let's just look at our options of what we have for sale that's reasonable. Oh, sturdy spear, $22, dude. Unknowingly, I guess we have some trust built up with these guys. Usually you can't sell your weapons to a lot of, until you give up the farm, basically. So we'll take advantage of that. I at least had the ability to buy some ale. Don't think we're going to be able to make enough for the dog unless we got rid of the, what is that, 40, 60, 4616, which would give us like 6996. These are pretty important. I want that dog. I don't care what the price is. Sell or trade. Minus 37%. Best value. Totally okay selling these. This gives us an opportunity. It motivates us to make more spears. Better spears. Sell Ruffington. Make more dogs later. It's just not going to happen. Shoot. Alright. Well, we owe 23. It looks like. So what are we going to do here? I thought we had credit. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. Alright. How did we end up with owing? This we understand. 46 and change. It's only 2. Give me a break. It's not even enough for everyone. It's not a fair deal. Okay. We could just have a positive credit. I don't care. I could also take off one of these spears. Sorry, I can't decide on anything. 22 for a sturdy versus 11 for a flimsy. We're gonna get some credit here. Maybe I might have gave them a little credit last time. That's why they're buying my weapons. So let's keep this sweet little deal going. If anything, I'm not really using tallow right now. I'm sure I am refilling candles or something. I don't know. Let's just really try to boost this up. 30 bucks. They're gonna love us. Boom. Accept. No alignment bonus there. Did say. Alright. Might have done that for nothing. In all reality, I don't feel the pain from that. I'm going to immediately get to making more wood weapons. And I hope they come back going, man, I hope to buy more wood weapons, because we'll have them. I did this very loose form, mainly because there's not a solid patch of grass to like make it look like landscaping and have a, look at the squares themselves and measure it out. They're just kind of loosely, but I wish it was like really structured. Same over here. I just kind of eyeballed very quickly where the trees go. I got wildlife all around us over here. I guess they're loving the tree line for sure. Man, I wish I got that dog. I'd love to have a kennel, breed some dogs. They'll go fox hunting or something. Oh well. Alright, let's look at jobs. Well, Hingis, we already know. Poor guy. I think he might have 1-star passion for research. Is that true? So he at least has passion for it. He would rather be in the mines, though. Real contrast between the two skills. I'd rather be in a hole versus being scholarly and studying and writing. Very different. If I could, I would put him over there because he's got a 17. There's a lot of things that could be mined. We're basically like dwarves. We're, the old medieval dwarves where, they underground in their mountains. We are in a mountainous area here. I'm a little short in real life. It all fits, but they're known for mining and engineering in like the realm of D&D and stuff, Gun is my botanist. I'm trying to persuade him to go and chop some trees down he's making weapons that made us money. So, and every time he makes a new weapon, it's slightly better than the last. And we are out of two-handed weapons. So the point of this structure really is, one, like I said, I'm able to defend it from all corners. There's no line of sight obstructions over here. But also, two, the way it's designed, there's one entry. You have to go through this door and immediately go through a second door. And all my guys would be up here. Actually, there's a little chamber right here where someone could stand. It's a window. And you can, while they're trying to get through the second door, you can poke them with a spear or a two-handed weapon. If they get wounded, they can just kind of fall back, you know. So that's the main defensive idea. I already talked about these structures where it gives you 100% protection for your archers if they get into some serious trouble. But they would have to go, if an enemy wanted to get to the last area here, they would have to go through here, here, and there's one last door up the stairway. So 3. And they're going to be actually soon 3 reinforced doors. And actually, before I even forget, oh, we got wooden traps. I did that without realizing, but you need mechanical components, which requires it requires blacksmithing. Now, wicker door, definitely not interested in that. Just curious, 120 for the wooden. What's a wicker door? 10 hit points? 60. But you can make doors out of wicker. I didn't even realize. That's the thing. You have to pay attention to all these upgrades. I'm like 7 upgrades behind, or updates. All right, reinforced doors, cool. This one has 500 hit points. If you got graded, 300 hit points. Maybe the first door. All right, let's just make the second door graded. Okay? But the first door will buy us a little bit of time. Is that right? Nope, we don't want that. The first door will buy us a little bit of time. It's got an extra 200 hit points. Why are we having... Is it not on the square? It is not on the square. What's your problem, door? The other one, unless this one's not... Oh, it's not either. Okay. It's not like when you put a window in a wall. So we need to destroy this. Ooh, I hate destroying doors. We'll do one at a time. You destroy that front door, boom, raid. Actually, that point, we can say cut trees. If you're going to cut down doors, don't use up my wood on wood weapons, and, you know, get the trees. We can't have these doors down forever. Excellent, gun. You're the kind of the person I need to get those trees. It is higher priority on the list here of growing, so. See, yeah, now he's getting to cutting. Awesome. Fantastic. So now I got a full set. I have this bed set up for seeding, so we're going to maximize our seeds. This doesn't have a seeding option for flax, but I do now have more flax. Even the gardens too. I'll get all this stuff. I like to have things nice and neat and aesthetically pleasing, and I don't have it in any way on this game. This is set up for survival right now, for real. It gets serious. I'm on hard mode and survival. In fact, I learned the other day there's a way to show hard, survival, and mountainous, okay? If you want to challenge yourself, set it up like that and try to play. The survival aspect is the hordes just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more severe. They always have an advantage on, like, if you have melee of 15 and you think you're, you know, really bad, then, you know, they'll have melee of 25 or something like that. You'll never have an advantage like that, and you'll never have a numerical advantage. And God forbid you lose a colonist or something, or two. You know, if you were on standard mode, It'll just kind of send enemies that are on par with what you got going on, your technology and the numbers that you have. But in survival, it'll just get even bigger and bigger hordes of enemies. You're just doomed, you know. So, and I play in such, I don't save. The only time I save is at the end of session. Like saving before battles and all that stuff is about the cheesiest thing you can do. Grow a pair. You got to be willing to lose it all, you know. That's what we got going on. All right, so now we have enough for the door. The question is, who's responsible for, one, destroying the front door and doing construction? Charvel is writing. Oh, that's right. I doubled up. Charvel, possibly in reality too, but in this game is dumb as rocks. He actually started out with an intelligence of 1. We're up to 2 though. But I have them doubling up, and I guess that was to reach defensive structures, but I'm not 100% hating it, but I have construction work that needs to be done here. We're at 11. If we keep going, what's the next most fundamental important? I would love to get terraforming. Not fundamentally important, but I'm not sure what that does. I mean, I get it. It's a hospital bed, but like it doesn't say specifically regain hit points 30% faster or something like that. It doesn't say. It just says, trust me, it's an infirmary bed. What's probably the most critical is rug making. Just kidding. But that'd be cool. I understand the rooms now, you know, they have ugly, modest. My cellar is, it said ugly or something like that. Furniture, obviously. I mean, there are some quality of life things, but right now, hitting the fundamentals, like blacksmithing, 30. That's a realistic. We're going to do blacksmithing. I'd rather get tailoring, but I'm going to do blacksmithing, and at least we'll finish up. Now, with blacksmithing, it doesn't come with any weapons at all. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I have to then do another one to get an axe, mace, or sword? You gotta give me something. It used to be that way. I mean, they always had axes, you know, that branch off, but I forgot what weapon came with blacksmithing. I mean, it was something basic, but that makes it hard to invest in blacksmithing right now. Metal traps. Wood weaponry. Flails. I've never used flails unless it was a free weapon and it was randomly picked. I'll have to change that. They put all this time and energy, like, you know, a mace is good when you're going against an opponent with plate armor and, you know, dense up armor, whereas a flail, I'm not sure what situation is good. Useful for threshing grain or your foes. Handy for catching the edge of a shield, but unsophisticated. I don't even know what it looks like. A flail. So it wraps around. Is that what's happening? A flail? Catching the edge of the shield. Maybe you get the guy's arm. Alright. We're thinking here. Just give me a minute. These are cool. I'll try to have stone block cutting before I build this massive wall at some point. That's another thing. I'm not trying to build a lot of structures with basic limestone, but I'm not trying to invest technology technology into these things too early. Try to get essential things. I mean, fermentation. It's good to go right now. I really want tailoring though. 20. We'll get tailoring, and I promise you guys fermentation after tailoring. Tailoring, I can now break down other apparel and all that jazz. So, and I have at least 2 people. One really good at tailoring, so yeah, never mind. But also he's my guy for carpentry. Then again, if he runs out of wood, which he's responsible for, he can just hop over and dismantle some apparel. And He's going to be a busy guy. Now they're friends. Let's see. Might as well. It's ripe. Does grass produce? I don't think grass. So they made it to where grass is strictly wild. Is that the case? You used to be able to plant grass, but this is ripe, no seeds at all. I mean, of course, now barley, it has hay, so you don't necessarily need grass, but I'd like to grow grass. What I used to do is I'd have a defensive structure and then like a, let's say a hallway or a passageway to the front door, and every bit of it was filled with tall grass, and when you walk through grass, it slows you down by whatever amount. They used to have traversal speed on different like wicker floors and wood and limestone and all that, and the limestone blocks that you create would be like the fastest, but they took that away for some reason. But anyways, that's what I use grass. So I'd build a plot of grass, and then once it was fully mature, I would just remove like the actual plot of it and just kind of turn it to wild. And so when the only way into the building, you'd have to go through tall grass and walk slowly through. My archers would just tear them up. One time I did it with red currant bushes. And actually, if you really wanted to slow somebody down, but it would also provide cover for them. But if you have like 1 or 2 wide pathway and just fill it up with trees on both squares or one square, then it's not impassable, but it takes forever to walk through. Eventually, I thought about this the other day. Okay, let's just pause it for a second. I'll try not to pause too many times, but this is more of a visual aid. I don't want them to build anything. But I thought about this. Your archers only need 1 level of elevation higher than your enemy to maximize its bonuses of, having the higher ground. You don't need to be 4 or 5 stories high in this crazy tall tower. The only thing that does is it takes away your range. You just need to be 1 level higher. And so I started thinking about it. And what I thought about was creating a situation or finding out in nature when you start a settlement like this right here. A nice curved wall, okay? And it kind of fits the radius of your archers, especially like if you have a fort and you have an archer here, then you have a radius on this corner of its line of sight maximum range, and have an archer here, it would have a radius there. So what I would do is in the middle create a fort, okay, and then force the enemy. The only way in is like a 2 wide path along a wall like this, where I am 1 level higher than the enemy. And then along that wall, you would have to go through trees. So even if it was like, so the path that they're walking on is only 1 square wide. And so you'd put, a tree here, a tree there. Of course, this is limestone. You get the idea. So even if the tree were to block you too, as an archer, there would still be like 3 or 4 spaces, then another tree. So then the enemy would be forced to get by the first tree, and there would be a bottleneck of enemies. They manage to get by the first tree, and then they have about 3 or 4 squares to fill up with their teammates, and you just are cutting them down with your bows while this guy in the lead is trying to get by the next tree. Does that make sense? And I liked it because it's like I used the wall as a backdrop to kind of force them in a situation where and what I was thinking is you cut out the floor here, so they have it's basically an edged, a 1 square wide edge pathway that kind of forces them right in the middle of this cliffside, if that makes sense, you know. I'll eventually create that. Once I get terraforming or something, like here, I could kind of create it artificially by putting a wall behind the tree and then cutting out the front right here and then make that a pathway. It's probably not visually understood yet by you guys, but I'm liking the idea. And I'm already kind of started the work on it with this curved tree line. So it'll happen here. And with terraforming and time, this one building, you can kind of see what it can cover. That's why this is so dominant. I cut out all the trees around it. You know, my archers can basically go up to this edge all the way around here. That's just nowhere to hide. The only other thing is to slow them down. Because for them, if you were the enemy, you would want to get to that front door as fast as possible. So you have to figure out a way to make it so hard to slow them down, you know. And I'm visualizing here. I was thinking about that, and what I would do is I would do like I normally do. I'd have a wall starting like right here, right? And I would have a hallway, like a passage, a corridor. That's what I'm trying to say. One long wall here, and one long wall here. Okay? So they got like a 3 wide passageway. You'd have a main gate right here, and maybe midway another gate to slow them down, and then your door entry here. That's the only way in. Okay, and of course you have perfect line of sight by your archers in this corridor. And then you wall off your territory based on the headquarters of this building. So I probably wouldn't go much further than like right here. You know. And then that way, you may say, well, even if you put in a bunch of things that would slow you down and get really annoying for your own settlers, but if you have enough resources within your walls, there wouldn't be a lot of reason other than hunting, you know, to go through the main gate. And honestly, we'll end up having domesticated animals at some point. So hunting, you won't have to really go around the map if you don't want to. And in an ideal scenario, one thing I don't like survival and these massive hordes and the odds against you kind of forces you to build a castle, and like basically you end up having like 15 amazing archers because they're the ones doing 97% of the work. But I would love to get better and figure out a way to have like territorial control. So like I'd have fort number 1 here, and they're basically their own settlement, and then break off entirely and have another fort over here, and then that way the AI now has to make a decision, or they focus. What odds are that what they'll do is they'll focus all their attention on one and knock out that colony, and then come over. You know, it's kind of like divide and conquer. But it'd be cool to take over the territory, the entire map. That would be a whole challenge in and of itself. Not take over the map based on growing so large, you know, with this massive city in the middle. But I'm saying like this fort has a limit. It's here to control the northeast territory. You know, we only need to put 5 or 6 people that are really good at melee and archery, and if we get attacked, they'll be able to hold their ground. It's a stronghold. They'll be able to hold their ground, and worst case scenario, the main castle, if the AI goes and attacks the northeast, we send from the castle a quick run of, you know, reinforcements. That's what we'll do. I'm trying to avoid cheese, and I'm trying to do what you would do in real life back in the day, which is controlling your territory, knowing what's going on over here. So maybe we'll start with Fort 1 over here. Then we'll have another fort similar to what we have with modifications, improvement, and then that way they can, work on the coal industry. And then we just have a protected highway that goes from the original building to here. You know, yeah, I see it all now. I don't know what that means. What is the gold? The chalice, I understand, I guess. He's like, hey, we don't have everything to drink. Maybe fig leaf. Is that like saying we need fancier food? Maybe. Awesome. Awesome sauce. We are collecting our first bit of flax. I'm very excited about it. Or linen, excuse me. This gives us the opportunity to make a great haul. We can put up our banners. This is a fort, and you got to have flags and stuff for your fort. You got to let them know who runs this building and structure. All right, we need to pull Charvel off, get them to start constructing. I want these doors reinforced ASAP. Do we have wood? We do not have wood because this guy is our botanist. He's been preoccupied planting, which I'm all for. We now have flax because of him. Or we have linen. Now he's heading over. He did some chopping down, but nobody's picking anything up. And I'm already out of wood again. I guess that's because he keeps making weapons. Let's go look. Yes, that is the case. These are like 60 wood for each. But now he's making good spears. So the investment is really paying off. And there's only 3 of us. Let's see. What's the next one? This one is sturdy. Not bad, but not flimsy. And this one's flimsy. But we do have a good spear. So this is the reason why it's located above the building is, it's convenient. I ran out of space below, but it's also, you kind of want an armory where your hideout is. Like worst case scenario, the enemy has to go through 3 reinforced doors to get to you. By the way, let's get that reinforced door. And upstairs, you're going to have all your armor, all your best weapons. You have a choice, so that way your archers can go from archers to melee with no problems. But it happens that that's where my armory is. Okay. To get these doors made, they're very important. I'm going to go ahead, especially now that we have 3 two-handed weapons, I need you to get these doors built. I need wood. This is Sacred Druids favored for wood carving, timber. I remember when they wrote all this stuff early in the game over here, like certain woods might be good for making instruments. So I can't wait for the day where that really is applied. Pine is good for this and furniture or whatever. Oh, is that flax out in the wild? Sweet. It's ripening at the moment. Let's get another tree. This is mature. Boom. Mature. I'm very pleased with myself for not just wasting a bunch of wood and not taking forever planting. I had this planted in the winter, so all the trees that I cut down I immediately had replaced, so that's good forestry practice there. But here is like a fertile soil, the rare, very large patch of grass. This is where our serious gardening is going to work, and before we get to it, we want to have good defensive structures. I'm surprised. Why is this not red on the edge? Am I crazy? This is supposed to... What? This is supposed to be... You know how the 10 squares... Let's see. None of it is restricted. What's going on? Well, anyways, we're going to grow over here. This is going to be where our fields of wheat. No, I'm kidding. But we're going to have. That's where our fertile soil is. So we can kind of see where a wall should go on the limestone, you know, and then wall over here. And then that way we capture this for ourselves. And then, yeah. Love it. Okay. Do we have wood? Is my reinforced steel door built? It is not. Let's get Charvel to get serious about construction. Having mouse issues, forgive me. I'm not. It's the middle of the day, but you wouldn't know it with all this rain. It's so dark outside. Gold leaf or whatever. I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing now, after seeing it so many times, like I still don't know what it is trying to say, but I'm thinking it's like, I need luxury goods of some kind. I don't know why. I get the impression that's what it's trying to say. I need luxury food or something. Excellent. We at least have this wall built, which means I can get slightly, unless there's stability issues. I'd like to remove this inner wall. Possible to see. Okay, of course its stability is 4. We're just gonna find out. We're gonna go here, here. Anything that tears down. Surprised. Unpleasantly surprised. Let's find out. Moment of truth. Not too bad. That just tells me we need to get some beams in, because at the time we didn't have beam technology when we were building. We could certainly. How far across can we go? Heck yeah, bro. Do that. Let me see it from another angle here. Okay. You gotta take stability issues seriously. And I suspect, I mean it should at least, if you were to build a structure that consisted mostly of one stability, like technically can pass, if they hit you with the trebuchet or whatever, it should just crumble, you know? You should take the time to really reinforce your structures from the ground up. It should just be like a paper house. Look at the rain. Okay. I'm feeling nervous that we're not making progress on incredibly important structures like doors. So we're going to get Hingis to help out. And Gun really needs to provide more wood. Okay, I'm trying to still cherry pick so we're not wasting mature, young trees. But we need wood. This one, mature. Just so happens all 3 on this level are mature. That's great. just never have wood. We're gonna have to step our wood game up. This is about 20 trees that I've planted total, and we're gonna need a lot more, obviously. But we're also trying not to consume so much wood. I'm trying to be careful with what we are making here. Other than some wood beams, we don't have a lot going on. That's a wooden door. Go ahead and destroy that. I hear trees being chopped down, so I should have wood available soon. Could be that they're just on the ground. 33. Cutting plants, then growing, then harvest. Alright. So it's safe since I have the priority set up. What is this? Birch tree? Got tons of those. One of my favorite trees. Okay. I'll just keep a nice, structured, straight tree line here, and through terraforming, we'll kind of make it look like it's all on purpose. So that said, I should just delete this. Trying to do my freeform thing originally, completely gave up on it. Every 2 squares for our birch trees. You gotta give your trees room to breathe. They can't touch each other. I'm actually a certified horticulturist, so I actually know what I'm talking about on that one. We're gonna remove this guy. We'll get the sapling, but we don't want that in the middle, just for defensive sake. We need that clear line of sight, way clear. Cool. So I have a tree line there, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that kind of replaces the trees we just destroyed. We are achieving balance here. We can also build some trees over here. We'll do a straight line. That seems like to be the longest line here. Whatever trees I have available. Let's look. We got birch we're using, 3 oaks, 3 maple, 3 pine. Now, actually I kind of like that as far as like a pattern, 3, 3, and 3. So, but I'm sure I got saplings somewhere on the ground. Is this dude? Let's see what's up. I didn't even realize. William Grove. It was gun, right? Speechcraft 8. Hingist. I'm not sure. I should probably write down, you know, that other guy we gave a credit of 30 gold or something like that. I don't know if this is the same clan or not. I'm just haven't paid attention. Holy cow, this dude's serious. Holy cow. They're like, hey, I heard you're selling stuff. Do we have history with Ramsey? I don't think so. This dude, though. I mean, of course, we can't afford any of it. But the fact that they're willing to sell us armor, and I mean, it's great. Now, there's another strategy I haven't been implementing, which is, you know, if you notice the one-sidedness in the beginning where they're like, here's plate mail, here's all these great things, and then you have to offer is like hay for 50 cents and limestone. You're basically creating raw goods that don't have a high value. You need manufactured goods. So one good strategy is you could just build tables and then relocate them and have them, you know, bundled up on a stockpile. Or you could build research tables, and I'm sure you could sell them for like, you know, 35 at a time or something like that. Or you could make Oak Brethren temples or altars, you know. And the way to see that is like if you're using 80 wood or 80 limestone, you can imagine that if you were able to sell your wood, it would be for like nothing. Let's look. What is this? This is leather. You couldn't even sell it if you wanted to. Sticks to this guy at least. But you can convert 80 wood into 30 gold or something. Let's see. I just wasn't expecting to get any good offerings. So this guy's like selling serious wares. He's not even coming with like food and alcohol. He's trying to sell some light armor, heavy, and it's just too expensive for my I mean, I can't buy a single thing, or I'm interested. But hey, let's keep this positivity train going. We can at least give them a sturdy spear for free, 21, and get rid of this garbage flimsy thing. Although I am giving up all my two-handed weapons. We'll just roll the dice on that one. So please come back with good stuff when we're not so poor is what I'm trying to do. Plus 32, feeling very good about that. Maybe they won't become enemies later on. I don't think it works like that, but... Alright. Is this door built? It's not even queued to be built. Alright, so this will be our graded door, which is 200 hit points less than the reinforced door. I can't see anything. I think that's correct. Alright, I want that built immediately. Alright, so the graded door is great. You can, no pun, it's great. You can use a two-handed sword on that side, or a two-handed weapon on that side of the door, poke through and hit your enemy. And if the enemy has a two-handed weapon, they can also poke back. But also archers can shoot through that. So then we'll have one more door up on top, and that will be graded as well. So that'll be a massive improvement to our entry to the fort. Jingle bells, jingle bells. No? Okay. Cool. Already got two trees planted. Come on now. Several years from now, we'll be able to maximum yield in 7 days, which will put us in the summertime. Not bad. And I think we'll try to get another row behind it. So then, like, you hack this one down, boom. This one is staggered in its growth right behind it. There's not a lot of room for a third row. We just don't want to be any closer here. Awesome. Oh, we did. All right. So we do have the beams put in, so I like it. We got the building a little more reinforced in the middle. Nice. We'll finish off there. Nope, we need one more to... Okay. Yeah. I hate how unsymmetrical this building has been, so I've done a little work to improve that. It's starting to look a little more balanced. Not perfect, of course. Okay. But I'm going to have another one of these. Although that last battle, our only raid, the window thing didn't work like it was supposed to. I've had it work before, so... Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to copy here, and we'll just put our wood out here for... Not that we have a lot of storage of it. This is sticks, or is this the... This is sticks. Let's just label it sticks. Oops. Sticks. Okay. Boom. We'll get rid of this. Okay. 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 And then we got wood. Boom. Just call this wood. Alright. Nice and organized. Okay. We'll delete this. Nice. Let's relocate this. In fact, I sense we have to be attacked any day now. And I don't use pyres as bait, you know, or a distraction tactic. We'll just put it up here so we don't have to worry about it. But honestly, that's not ideal either. That essentially means we're going to be dragging dead bodies through the building. That's not great. So that said, let's drag dead bodies where? We can drag dead bodies out of sight. Let's copy it here. Okay. This is a good idea. Okay. And we'll just protect our wares here. We need a little storage for dead bodies. And then we will have a grated door. If we ever want to... Boom. Now, we also have prevented the enemy from just coming right up quickly. We want them to take their time. If they're going to come at us, they're going to have to travel a long distance without having any protection. Or they're going to take their time going through that grated door. Very possible, but I like my odds. And then, shoot, I'm not happy with the stairway here. Let's destroy it. Because I want to put a grated door or something right here, just to kind of keep it in line. If I do, it'd be sticking out on the corner. Okay. We're getting somewhere, folks. Alright. Once that pyre is moved, or I think I just copied it, so we'll just destroy. Okay. Yes. And then we will get on with, oh, and then we'll just move this. Copy. We'll put dead bodies, ashes, etc. there. And then we can finally make this look a little symmetrical and serve its purpose here. So we'll start off with the walls so we're not exposing entry into the... excuse me. This goes just too wide, and enough room for one person to get in there with a two-handed weapon. So it goes 1, 2. And 3. Let them build the walls first, then we'll punch a hole through it, and then we'll put a window. So that way we have spear guy, archer on top, shooting at someone who made entry in there. And they'll be attacked on both sides through windows, fully protected from archers. That's the general gist of it. And more importantly, the building will look a little symmetrical in the front, which really drives me nuts when it's unbalanced like that. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can build an extra little something or another over here soon, although it's on a higher level. We go 3 wide. Maybe we'll protect our altars here, and actually we will. 1, 2, 3. 3 wide. 1, 2, 3. There. We'll need a door. I know this. I'm just, it's only 3 wide, right? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Felt like it was a little smaller. Okay, hold on. Oh, man. Still having mouse issues. It could be the lack of a mouse pad. Let's make sure this is even. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Step 1, step 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just very concerned. I don't want to put a door anywhere until we have walls built. If it blocks off the altars for a little bit, so be it. We have 220 stone. So construction-wise, that should be more than enough. We already have the graded door. Fantastic. Really tempted someday soon to get some silver, just because. Maybe you could buy stuff from this guy if we had silver and gold already. There's gold in that little square right there. Gold down here. Structure is fortifying first. Fundamentals first. FF. Fundamentals first. All right. So, not hating the expansion and our smiley face castle fort is coming along. Now, the wood Merlin's really not loving it, but not really a high priority to change just yet. Then it comes down to, do we want doors here, double doors that are graded? Now, if it's graded, archers can still shoot through, but they can also be shot at. Because originally the whole plan, like I said numerous times, these corners are for protection, just to hide and not have any ability to be shot at all. But what's stopping us from putting graded doors here? Because then we can turn these both sides into workshops, still have not really lose the defensive side of things. Yeah, we might do that. Just one thing I want to point out for those, if you happen to see this and you're new to the game, notice that I don't go too crazy with projects. I sure hate watching a new person. They're like, let's chop all these trees down, and at the same time, let's build a garden this big over here, and at the same time, let's build an entire castle with all these walls, you know, and there's only 3 people to the entire settlement. Like, you have to do reasonable sized projects with the goal in mind of being done in a day or 2 or 3. Just try to keep your ideas straight, and once they get closer to completion with one thing, add a little more or do something different. Ooh, look, that looks different because of seeding. How cool is that? And it has flowering on top. That's cool. Now, like I said, I know horticulture, so respect to the fact that they changed the look of the cabbage. Growing it the extra distance to do flowering. I guess this is in the flowering stage. And then with flowers, you get seeds. That's good job, guys. That's very cool. Now, at the flowering stage, there's still just one seed, no different than the ripening stage. Oh, they don't even have seeds in the ripening stage, or growing stage, so cool. Very, very cool. Is there anything holding this guy up? No? Okay. Now that we have the wall built, I can safely... Let's look at the, where can they go to the temple with? Now this, I can easily just turn into 2 temples now. I just need space. Well, not exactly. Mainly because of the stairway. That's... I could do a temple. Let's put a, might as well. This could be a little backup valve here. Basically, shit hits the fan. They get through this door. They get through that door. We could hide out over here, or have someone hide out over here and divide their interests. We could have somebody with spears down here, as well as upstairs. And if they want to get some, they can get some. Or they go upstairs and we run out from the outside and flank them from behind. Love it. Maybe. It's a lot of talk there. We'll see about the reality of it. Okay. So I do want that graded door built before I do anything else. Charvel is idle. He must be stuck. He's probably stuck. And he's the guy who's doing the construction. So now that we have that built, we can go like this. Put a door. In fact, well, let's free him up. That's not what, first we'll free him up, limestone. Boom. Well, you can just, there we go. And then, since I have so much iron anyways, I can just put graded doors everywhere. And then, it's hard to see, but what we're going to do is put a window. What is this? Barn door. Ooh. See, that's new to me. Okay. Put limestone. So, right there. It's a little bit of a tight fit here. Let's just, there we go. I want it on this square. If we can build it at this Z level. Can't see. Turning on me. Where is this? Alright, we'll just take a chance. Oh, from this angle. I can click this here for sure. So I just want to install the window in that square. Way I don't have to expose my thing, you know. We don't have anything open since I don't have this reinforced door built yet. Want this destroyed. Heck yeah, bro. what I love about this build so far is that I have not made a massive investment in time and material on walls yet. Like, I feel so secure with the way this building is at the moment, you know, because I only have 3 people. You can only cover so much ground. So it's like you might as well have your enemy come to you and you just have the best possible structure for the 3 people that you have. And I feel like that's what I have here. But I didn't have to quarry a bunch of limestone and use 2,000 limestone to wall in all this area. Of course, that is going to be the goal eventually, but not with 3 settlers, you know. Not only that, I feel perfectly safe, but I'm also like, we got weaponry that we can build. We got iron that we're making here. Like, we're doing great. Okay, so what we want is this. We want a, do we want a graded door or do we want a reinforced door or a barn door? I don't see the advantage of having a graded door here necessarily. We just want it to be reinforced. And although I'm sure this will keep them from walking around, I'm not actually 100% sure because I'm going to have a stairway. Let's see. I'm pretty sure you can walk right there, so I do need a little bit of a wall here. Which kind of makes the whole balance thing thrown off again. But just can't be very OCD all the time about it. But I can totally see doing the same over here, carving out this limestone and then, you know, but we're not going to force the issue just to make the building look a little better. I mean, that's coming along pretty decent. It's symmetrical now, and defensively, much better. We got reinforced doors on the front 2 entrances. We have graded doors here. So again, if you wanted to, we're already going to have guys with spears or 2-handed weapons here and here. They would have to go through this other reinforced door and go through that reinforced door. So you could just keep them there, kind of trapping them, but at the same time, you could be, you know, I like it. This is pretty great. And we'll have to check the trap situation. I believe we were able to make wooden traps, like an improvement here. We just need mechanical components, but like we can save it for what, you know, put those, do some good damage and slow a guy down. You could have 1, 2, 3 in the middle, front of the door, that kind of thing. All right, reinforced door. We'll do a graded door. Wicker. Graded. Boom. Okay, 1 door at a time. Then we'll get this guy over there. Yeah, this is really starting to look like the fort that was intended to be. It provides just enough for 3 to 4 people to have all their needs met and all the defense you could ever ask for available here. You can make your more weapons. What you can't do is make armor, and we're going to fix that soon. But now we're getting to a point where it's like we're running out of space. Although we could dig underneath. What we could do, again, is have kind of like a fallout shelter. Like, we're not going to be a bunch of babies, and this is another cheese thing, is to build your entire civilization underground just to get away from the trebuchets. But it makes complete sense to have a chamber with like 4 hay beds and a locked door, and all else fails, if the trebuchets completely ruin your defenses, you can at least bunker down and wait things out, and just take a loss on the raid or something like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. Also have infirmary beds down here or something. That makes a lot of sense. So we will do that. Plus we need a larger cellar. But we're not going to get carried away. But it does make sense to have like a crypt, you know, maybe a thieves guild, kind of like stash your most valuable goods like your books. Like you'd have to go through some serious reinforced doors and traps to find the vault of your knowledge. Those things make sense underground. But at this stage, with 3 people and only 1 building, I should at least have room to hide out underneath if things really hit the fan. I'm talking like a doomsday prepper. One of my favorite terms. But things will hit the fan in this game. It's a guarantee. Okay, so we are working on that graded door. Once it's complete, which is close to, we have 54 wood. We'll destroy this one and put in a graded door there. Fig leaf, chalice, grape leaf. I don't know what that is. Moving right along. Did expand the ceiling so I can put more weaponry and not have it rot. Yes. And I'm very happy. These are good things happening here. Now we can get back to making weapons again, and you know, whatever it is these people are good at doing, they're going to get back to it. Kind of interested in getting some silver over here. Interesting pathway here. What's he doing? Construction. Should that be allowed? I don't think I hate it. If the enemy were to do that, they'd be rained upon with my arrows, so I wouldn't hate it. And this is waste and enemy bodies, or bodies period. We'll just fill up this whole little chamber. Perfect. And the great thing about this, out of sight, out of mind. So those that are super sensitive to seeing dead bodies, they don't have to, because they'll be behind walls, which is really critical to morale, especially if there's a tough battle and they're already really messed up. They don't need to see 20 dead bodies hanging out for a week until you can get to it. Fantastic. So there's another defensive idea that we can follow, which is to make sure that you have wood, stone, building materials hidden inside of your defensive structures, so that if you get attacked, a trebuchet comes and knocks out a wall here, and then they just have instant access to the inside of your fort. If you have limestone here and not way over here, no one has to risk their life getting the material, taking up that time to repair a wall. You already have a stack of limestone there, here on this side, and you might have enough time to, repair that wall. Same thing with doors. At the very least, you can have a chance of repairing a door if need be, if a fight goes on long enough, Point being is, you're better off having materials like this inside. So, and actually, I'm going to have it up here, so that way my guys can make weapons more conveniently. So wood, Boom. Sticks, on the other hand, can go below and be available for cooking and blah blah blah. We're going to work on the crampedness of the insides here. It's really, this is going to kind of turn into a library area. We'll get rid of the butchering table. That can go below. Cooking will stay above so it doesn't provide heat. But that'll be a good chunk. Let's put sticks. It's not going to look great, but we'll just, I don't know, where should we put sticks? For now, we'll just put sticks here. It'll look a little weird, but whatever. Sticks. Boom. We'll get rid of that. Okay, so limestone, we should definitely put limestone. Is this waste? Just straight up waste. This is the old, yeah. We don't need that, so then now they're gonna have to move all that. But we'll put limestone for sure here. Let's go. We'll just, what did I put? Just all materials, like raw goods? Yeah. Raw materials. See how organized? And we'll just get rid of this. Boom. They want to raid our seed stash. Not that they can. There it is. Someday, though, I'd like to have a little shed. Kind of respect the seeds. They took forever. Oh, they decompose here because of temperature. Shit! 8 days. Not a lot of days. I can't even grow herb seeds. So, okay. We need herbs to go downstairs. And I'm sure we could use more limestone anyways. We're always out of stuff. Oh, that's because they're not on the stockpile. But it's not a huge stockpile of limestone. So that means we'll have our best guy at mining get off research. How we doing on research? 31. It just snuck up on me. We actually have it. Now, I might have had a big talk about fermenting. No, I did say tailoring for sure. That's only 20 chronicles. It's just so critical because you build up your tailoring skill. Eventually, you'll end up getting armory. And that tailor goes from making fancy shirts to light leather or gambeson type material, sewing station. And I do have a high level tailor, so it's not all about apparel. That person could be critical in making you some nice armor. So of course we're out of wood. What is that, like 9-ish trees? So that now makes we've grown probably close to 30, which means that we let them grow and we grow and consume wood the same way. We'll always be, we don't have just a very plentiful supply of wood still to this day. Even if this was all grown out, we could easily go through what we have. But look at that. Just totally clear around the building, tree line around the edge, and then someday we'll have a wall that's on the outside of the trees, and then we'll implement the idea I was trying to communicate before, where they have to walk a pathway near the wall lined with trees on their one square pathway, and then we'll probably carve this out, and that way, and then over time we'll tighten it up, and like once we get terraforming, I want it to look like the trees are landscaped. They're kind of loosely at an arc here, but they're not like, 3 squares this way and at a diagonal. It's perfectly placed here. I just couldn't do that because of all the limestone that was in the middle. But maybe someday we'll have like a row of trees perfectly measured out, then a pathway in the middle, and then another row of trees, something like that. So it'll look like a hiking trail. but it's the start. This is only year one. We haven't even had a full year. We have to hit winter before we go, you know. So keep that in mind. Let's see. This guy is mature. There's one tree. Boom. This guy's probably growing. It doesn't look very big. This guy's dead. Boom. I don't need hay, but we could just, while we're here. I don't have any animals. We need to work on that. We need low skill level type animal handling, and I don't know much about it, but maybe beekeeping could be a good thing. If we had an already trained animal, we could, like, you know, get the pen and all that. I don't know. It doesn't look like we can train our dogs to do anything. I know they can carry, but nobody seems to have the option of training this dog. Let's see. Train. No settler with the necessary animal handling skill is available. And I know, like, animal handling, I mean, so what does it take? Like 25? That's probably my highest level there. Animal handling of 15, 12, 11. So how do you build up? And I think the answer might be bees. Work with bees enough, get your level up to like 20 or whatever it is. Boom. Double thumbs up, they say. Okay. I was gonna do this before. It was like maple, pine, 3 and 3 at the time. Now I'm sure it's higher, but let's go maple. Boom. 1, 2, 3, tree. 1, 2, 3, different tree. So 2, 1, 2, 3, tree. So how many is that? Assuming the spacing is correct, it's 11 between the two. These are, let's just do 11 over here. 9, shoot. I need terraforming. It's not gonna be even. That's fine. This guy is a field maple, so we'll do field maple. Trying to work in a little landscaping design, make it symmetrical. Spacing of 3, tree. Okay, and then get a different tree. Scots pine. Spacing of 3. 1, 2, 3. Tree. 3 tree. Now, we could come this way. It's not too close to the fort. Say 3 spaces or 2 for the row, for the effect. Let's do that. We'll say field maple, just kind of copy what we got, or alternate. Let's do an alternate. 1, 2, there, there, there. So a different pattern of different trees. Okay, that's the timer, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be the end of this episode. I'm feeling a little better. The last episode that you'll never be able to see because apparently I didn't set the screen recorder. I was not loving the look of my building. I was happy with, I knew that the fundamentals of having the ability to smelt iron and all that. Like, I know I'm rock solid in that case. Like, it's coming along pretty good with technology, but my building was just horrendous looking and the landscaping not so great. But now I'm starting to see, my ideas getting implemented, even though it's not perfect. That's the great thing I'm learning in my old age, is not to waste too much time with perfection. Sometimes you just need to accomplish certain things. And here, I got my tree line. I got area cleared out around my fort. I have a nice fort that's fairly well fortified. I'm feeling very secure. We're making iron. We have the ability to tailor here once this guy gets done. Things are coming along pretty great. I even have the ability to ferment. I did promise myself and my guys that we can make alcohol once we get the. I'm sure they could want beds next. Maybe we'll even get beds, but that's on another episode. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Comment over and over. Share this with your grandma, your uncle, your great grandma. I don't know why I'm saying grandma. Share it with people. Talk it about amongst yourselves. Rewatch the episodes several times. Put timestamps up. You know what to do. All right. I'll see you next time. Assuming this is recorded.